Hey everyone, it's Catherine Smith. I've got 5 members of my family, so I'm going to go ahead and begin my speech. Imagine waking up one morning to discover that almost everything in your life has changed. Your thoughts, feelings, and dreams. What was once routine is now lost and nowhere to be found. This frightening scenario is actually the reality for many survivors of strokes due to the impact they have on the brain. What is startling but also true is that approximately 700,000 people suffer from the effects of a stroke, meaning someone suffers a stroke about every 45 seconds. My mother's life-threatening experience with a stroke has led me to continue to study how and why the brain is affected as it is. Today, I would like to share with you the 5 disabilities which can occur after a stroke, what happens in the brain to cause them, and what can be expected after a stroke has occurred. I want to raise awareness of stroke, so if someone dear to you, as my mother is dear to me, experiences a traumatizing, life-threatening effect or disability of a stroke. Going forward, I think it's important to understand exactly what a stroke is in order to understand the effects it does have on the brain. A stroke is caused by a hemorrhage or blood clot within the body, which causes lack of blood supply within the brain. The most common disability from a stroke is paralysis, which happens on the side of the body opposite of the side of the brain which was damaged. You have sensory disturbances, which affects one's ability to touch or feel pain. And then we have mood swings or personality changes, also known as emotional disturbances. We have problems with speaking and understanding language. And then there's the improper functioning of thinking, memory, and awareness. So now that we've talked a little bit about what the 5 disabilities are, I think we should now discuss more in depth what happens in the brain to cause the 5 disabilities. To make this a little bit easier, I've broken it down into disability, the cause and effect, and I'm sorry if it's hard to see. We have paralysis, which is damage to the cerebellum, which is the lower part of your brain, which can cause apraxia, which is lack of coordination of movement within the limbs. The sensory disturbances, which when there's pathways for sensations that are damaged within the brain, it can cause the strange, overwhelming feelings or sensations and chronic pain within the limbs. We have the improper functioning of thinking, memory, and learning, which is the interruption between connections of thought and action, which can cause you to forget things and not to be able to learn things easily. For example, a stroke victim may go and gather everything they need to make a sandwich and then forget how to make it. We also have the emotional disturbances caused by the physical aspects of the stroke, where one may be upset that, say for instance, be upset that they suffer from paralysis or being able to speak. It leads to fear, anxiety, and most commonly severe depression. We also have the problems speaking and understanding language. That's damage to basically the speech box in easy terms, which is on the left side of your brain, which can cause stuttering, rambling, and loss of your voice completely. So now that you're familiar with the details of the 5 disabilities and what goes on in the brain to cause them, I want to talk to you a little bit about what you can expect or certain incidents that may occur after one has experienced a stroke. It's very common for stroke victims to lose interest in many things like hobbies, activities, family and friends, and food. For example, 4 years ago when my mother had her stroke, she lost complete interest in broccoli and steak. She won't go near this stuff like she used to. And according to the Stroke Recovery Association, there are often times where survivors of strokes will laugh or cry excessively and sometimes uncontrollably. And we also have incidents where a small dilemma may occur that seems to be a crisis, and if it's not resolved quickly, it can lead mood swings and personality changes to occur from a period of 1 to 5 days. And a lot of times, according to the University Hospital, 60% of stroke victims are afraid to leave their home or don't like to leave their home. They like to be at home because of their comfort zone. For instance, my mother will go to family events, but the other time prefers to be at home because that's where she's more comfortable. So overall, knowing what to expect after a stroke has occurred can be highly beneficial and can help you to be prepared and to also help you understand the feelings and behavior of someone who's experienced a stroke. So I'd like to end by saying that it's been a pleasure informing you about strokes and their impact on the brain. For a long time, I had many unanswered questions, but after continuing to study strokes and how they affect the brain, I've really it's really answered many of my questions. So I hope this information, you'll hold on to it because you may need it one day. And today I've shared with you the 5 disabilities of a stroke, what happens in the brain to cause them, and what to expect after a stroke. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the information I shared with you.